Hi Capricorn, this is your general reading for the month of September. I have already pre-shuffled and laid out the cards, so we're going to get straight into the reading. Now, the first card we have is the Seven of Pentacles. This is the energy that's being brought in this month. Now, what this card is showing is that in some area of your life, you've planted the seeds, so to speak, in something. It could be within work, a new project that you started. It could even be within a new relationship. But you've planted the seeds to something. You've done all the foundation work and you've put a lot of time and effort and labor into this. But you could at the moment be starting to feel a bit impatient. You could be starting to think, when are you going to see the payoff for all the hard work that you have put in? And what this card is saying is that all your hard work is going to pay off, but it's asking for you to be patient because things don't happen overnight. And I feel that you've made a commitment to something and you need to be true to that commitment now. As I said, the seeds have been planted, the groundwork has been done. Don't fall by the wayside now, so to speak. Don't give up now. Keep ploughing on and pushing forward because things will work out. You will get the payoff, but you're going to need to be patient. The Pentacles, I should have said at the beginning, are your own energy. They are for Capricorn, Taurus and Virgo. The Pentacles are earth related. They are to do with our work, our finances, our material wealth and growth. And the Pentacles, the earth is a very grounded energy, okay? It's an energy that does work slowly towards something, but it's definitely an energy that is extremely grounded. And it can mean that at times things don't happen with the speed that we may want them to happen, but it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. As I said, this card is all about your hard work paying off, but requiring some patience while you're waiting for that. The next card we have is the Eight of Wands. Now the Wands are fire energy. They do represent Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. But as I always say, it doesn't mean you're dealing with somebody from that sign. Now, this has fallen within what's crossing you. And the Eight of Wands, it's about staying focused, okay? It is possible that in the past you have started a few new projects or thought about a few possibilities and you've tried to get different things up and running and off the ground, but they've kind of failed because you've had too many ideas and you haven't focused all your attention onto one thing. It is also possible, and it very much fits in with the Seven of Pentacles, because this card is suggestive that an air of impatience is growing within you. But the Eight of Wands reversed is showing up to tell you that you need to slow down. You need to be patient. That yes, there may be some delays with things, or maybe things are not moving as fast as you would like or had hoped. But it doesn't mean that things are not moving, they're just moving at a slower pace. So again, this card is showing up to help you, to get you to, as I said, be patient and to stay focused on the seeds and the foundation work that you have already started within something in your life. Now we have more fire energy here again. This is the Page of Wands. Now, the page, this has fallen within your foundation position. And I must just say, first off, that if you can hear my washing machine in the background, then I really do apologise. But I do all my readings around my dining table, which is in my kitchen, and it's a lovely sunny day here, and I really just wanted to get my washing done so I can get it on the washing line. So please excuse any noise of my washing machine on the spin cycle. Right, back to your reading. The Page of Wands, it is reversed. It's fallen within the root source or the foundations. Now, it can suggest that some of your ventures, new ventures in the past have not worked out. Which is what we saw with the Eight of Wands, that in the past maybe you didn't focus enough attention on one thing, and because you were focusing on too many things, then nothing could get started or off the ground. But this card is now calling for you to remain focused, to be focused completely on whatever this is that you have started. That yes, there may be some obstacles, okay? But the problem is, it's like you are in a rush to speed things up. And because you're focusing on wanting things to happen quickly, you're not looking maybe at the bigger picture of this. It is possible that you are worried that this new project will not get off the ground completely or will not work out in the way you're hoping. But this card is asking you to remain focused, because I feel in the past you maybe haven't been completely focused, or maybe you are losing your focus on something at the moment. But all three of these cards so far are all about some new project or something new that has happened or come about in your life or that you've started. But it's all calling for you to remain focused, to be patient, to accept that you cannot speed something up to suit you. You have to just continue with the hard work and allow it to flourish and develop in the time scale that it's meant to. Now here we have a major arcana, which is the Empress. It is upright, and the Empress has fallen within the near past. And the Empress, it shows somebody that prefers the more conventional type of relationship. But regarding finances, it is a good card for those who have had financial difficulties in the past. It is an indication that things are improving on the finances. And if it's not the finances that you've had issues with in the past, then it could be something on an emotional level. But either way, it's showing that there may have been some struggles in some area of your life, but be it the emotional aspects or the financial aspects, this card is all about abundance, and it is very much a good omen for showing that things are improving. Here we have the Ace of Pentacles, so more of your own earth energy again. It is reversed. Now, the aces normally indicate new beginnings and new chapters, okay? Now, when it's reversed, it can indicate that because this is the present situation, this is where the position this card has fallen in is the here and now. Now, and it's a bit contradictory to the Empress, because when the Ace of Pentacles is reversed, it's like you was on a financial aspect. It's possible that an opportunity that you've been waiting for or relying on may fall through. If you have been waiting to hear news on a loan or a pay rise or a new job, it can be an indication that those things may fall through. It is also a card of telling you or warning you not to get in over your head in regards to something. And I would be more inclined to think this is on the financial aspect, because your reading is pretty much running along the lines of work and finances and projects. And the Ace of Pentacles, it is a warning of that. It's kind of saying that maybe you feel your plans are a bit stuck at the moment as well. And again, that comes back to you wanting things to move quicker than they actually are. And you could be feeling slightly stuck at the moment. It is a card about being careful about money and warning you to be careful about money, and maybe at the moment not to spend on things that you don't really need at the moment. Don't rush out and buy something if at the moment you don't really need it. So it is just a little warning not to get in over your head in maybe a financial matter. To be careful with what you are spending your money on at the moment, or just be careful in general when it comes to laying money out or spending money on things. And that yes, maybe a financial opportunity may fall through, and that may make you feel that your plans are a bit stuck at the moment. But we did see with the Empress that there has been some struggles financially, and those things are going to turn around. So maybe this card is just warning you that your finances are on the up, but don't get complacent and don't think that you've got all this money and now you can go out and spend it all. Just be careful. The next card we have is the Nine of Cups. Now, the cups are water. They represent our emotions, our feelings, love. They are for the signs of Scorpio, Cancer and Pisces. But as I said, doesn't mean you're dealing with somebody from that sign. Now, the Nine of Cups being reversed, this has fallen as well in your near future position. And the Nine of Cups, when it's reversed, it can show that maybe you're feeling that, like, deep down, you feel something is missing, or something that you have really wished for is not coming true, or that maybe a promise, you thought a promise was made to you, only to discover that that's not the case. It can also be a sign that your expectations to something that you feel emotional about are unrealistic at this time. It can sometimes show that somebody has been suffering maybe from depression or just feeling low within their emotions. And sometimes it can show that there is somebody around you who has acted out of greed. Only you will know how this is fitting in with your circumstances. But as I said, it can be expectations being unrealistic. It can be this feeling deep inside that something is missing or not quite right. It can be this strong where you've wished so hard for something and unfortunately it hasn't materialized. It can be, as I said, that you thought somebody has made a promise to you and it turns out they haven't, and maybe that's the wish not coming true, that you really thought you were going to receive something or being promised something, and it turns out that that's not the case. But because it is cups and it links with our emotions, I feel that whatever this is, it's linked with your emotions in some way. Here we have the World card, which is another major arcana. Now, the World card, it is reversed, and it has fallen within how you see yourself, okay? Now, it has a few interpretations. One interpretation could be that at the moment, for some reason, you are feeling quite negative about yourself, in the sense that you are maybe feeling that you're not good enough for anyone. It can also indicate in a relationship that there has been a few bumps and bruises along the way within this relationship. It can also signify that you could be feeling bored and disappointed with something at the moment. That you almost feel that you are just stagnating and life has become boring. And you feel that you're trapped in this ever decreasing circle, almost to the point where you're feeling suffocated. But it can sometimes suggest that you could be refusing to let go of something from the past, or refusing to change a current way of living. And that stubbornness is causing this stagnation. But either way, I feel that you are generally just feeling bored, that your life is stagnating, that there is some you are feeling disappointed with someone, or maybe somebody is disappointed in you and that's causing you not to feel good about yourself, or to make you feel that you're not good enough for anyone. Because when the World card is upright, it is about endings but new beginnings. When it's reversed, I feel that there could be a new beginning, possibly within a relationship or some area of your life. But maybe you are being stubborn or too set in your ways to allow that new beginning. Now, here we have the Four of Pentacles. Again, your own energy. Now, this has fallen in the position of your environment, your friends and family, and maybe how others are seeing you. Now, the Four of Pentacles is about a fear of taking a risk, opting for the safe approach. It can indicate that somebody is too tied to their possessions or their finances, their money. It can also indicate that somebody values money or is valuing money more than anything else at the moment. It can also indicate that somebody is fearing they're going to lose something, so they're holding on to it for dear life. Now, as I said, it can be an indication of opting for the safe approach and a fear of taking a risk. So you're holding on to a certain way of life, a certain pattern of life that you've always known or that's always felt safe. Because we see with the World card that there was this stagnation, there was this kind of boredom and dissatisfaction creeping into your life, but being created out of your own stubbornness, maybe, to allow a current way of life to change in the way it needs to. And again, this Four of Pentacles is showing that maybe that's the case. Maybe others around you or somebody around you is trying to change the way you've lived or implement a different way of living in some way, and you are fearing that. But overall, it is a fear of taking risks. Somebody is either tied to their positions, not prepared to take a risk, opting for the safe approach, fearing they're going to lose something, or valuing money more than maybe the emotional aspects of their life. The next card we have here is the Eight of Swords. Now, the swords represent the air element. They represent Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. These swords are all to do with our thoughts, our thinking, our perception mentally of things, and can be how we vocalize those thoughts. But it's all to do with our thinking and our mind. Now, this has fallen within your hopes and fears or need to know position. And again, the Eight of Swords is a fear of moving on. You can see the woman is blindfolded and she's bound. There's these swords around her, but behind her there is no sword. There is a gap there, but she's blocking the gap. She could take the blindfold off, loosen the ropes around her and free herself from this, but something's holding her back. This card is asking you to face your fear with something. And what you have to understand is everybody has fears about things. But your fears are within your own mind. Quite often, our fears about something are not the reality. It's our perception of that reality. And our fears can keep us trapped in something that we don't need to be trapped in anymore, or is not serving us anymore. This Eight of Swords is showing up to get you to look at what you're fearing and to deal with that, and to see that maybe it is just a fear. It may not be the reality of the situation, but you are keeping yourself trapped and not allowing yourself to see the way ahead in a clearer way. The next card we have, again, is more of your own energy with the Pentacles. It's the Knight of Pentacles, and it is reversed. This has fallen within your distant outcome. And again, this card is saying about being stuck in a routine, that life has become boring and mundane, and that deep down you are craving for a change. But I think because you at the moment are being like the Eight of Swords, and you're fearing the change, and you're keeping yourself trapped within a situation that has become boring, has become mundane, where you do feel that life is just a routine. Now, it could be your life in general. It could be within a relationship. It could be within a job or a work project. I don't know. As I said, it could be in all areas of your life. But there's a feeling of feeling stuck, feeling that life has just become one endless routine of the same thing day in and day out. And you are desperately craving a change. And if you can get out of that Eight of Swords kind of thinking and step away from the Four of Pentacles thinking, where you're holding on to something too tightly, or you're fearing losing something, you could actually end up having the change that you want within your life. And the passion and the spark and the excitement within your life can then come back, because I feel all the spark and energy is kind of lacking at the moment. So overall, Capricorn, it's not a bad reading. I see that something new has started. You have put the seeds down, or the foundations down to something. It could be that you've laid the foundations down or planted the seeds within your own mind in regards to a change that you feel is needed within your life. It may not be an actual project. It may be that you have planted the seeds within yourself, knowing that you need a change within your life. That you feel the change is not coming as quickly as you would wish. And you're becoming very impatient. And you're feeling stuck within a situation. But I feel that if this is how it's playing out for you, then I feel it's your fears that are keeping you stuck. And if you could let go of your fears, or the fear of change, or the fear of losing something, you could see that your life could be so much more fulfilling. So, as I said, overall, it's a good reading. Nothing too negative here. As I say with all my readings, if you have liked it, please give it the thumbs up. If you don't like it, by all means, give it the thumbs down. Any comments you wish to leave, I greatly appreciate them, and I make sure I reply to everyone. There is a lot of Capricorns out there, obviously, and this reading cannot resonate with all of you. I understand that. But maybe a small part of it may resonate with you. But overall, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I will see you again soon to do your love reading for September. So until then, thank you for watching. Bye.